They told you your birth was random. Edgar Cayce did not agree. If certain places feel familiar, if your dreams feel like memories, don't scroll. By the end, you'll know exactly how to work with your digit, without superstition, without fear. Your soul is older than your body. This is not poetry. This is the foundation of Edgar Cayce's life work. The idea that consciousness moves through chapters, gathering lessons, leaving symbols where memory cannot reach. Life unfolds in patterns, not accidents. And sometimes, those patterns hide in the most unexpected places, the last digit of the year you were born. Cayce, the most documented psychic in American history, spoke of souls choosing their entry points into physical life with precision. Not because fate is fixed, but because certain conditions create better soil for growth. The year you arrived wasn't just a timestamp on a birth certificate. It was a doorway marked by a number, a single digit that echoes unfinished lessons and latent gifts carried forward from lifetimes you can't consciously remember. Karmic themes repeat until understood, not as punishment, not as cosmic debt collection, but as liberation through awareness. The digit is not a cage, it's a compass. It points toward the work your soul came here to complete, the medicine you came to master, and the specific frequency of transformation you're here to anchor into the world. When you understand your digit, you stop fighting invisible currents and start sailing with them. Weather matters, but the captain still steers the ship. Edgar Cayce's most repeated teaching cuts through mystical confusion with surgical clarity. Spirit is the life. Mind is the builder. The physical is the result. Numbers don't control fate. They describe energetic weather. They map the conditions your soul chose to work within, the particular flavor of challenge and gift you signed up for before memory began. Free will is not eliminated by pattern recognition. Free will is empowered by it. Think of your birth year digit as a karmic climate zone. If you were born in a year ending in 3, you're working in the climate of expression and creativity. That doesn't mean you must become an artist. It means your soul chose a lifetime where learning to voice truth, transform pain into beauty, and express authentically would be central themes. You can suppress that theme and suffer its shadow, approval addiction, creative blocks, swallowed words turning toxic. Or you can work with it consciously, turning the challenge into your greatest strength. This is the principle Cayce embedded in every reading he gave. Recognition precedes transformation. When we name a pattern, we gain the power to transform it. Recognition leads to conscious response. Conscious response leads to rebirth. The digit isn't fate, it's a map to freedom. And the moment you understand yours, you stop being haunted by invisible repetition and start building with intention. Digit 0, the sacred reset. 0 is an emptiness. It's the room where destiny walks in. From collapse to clear sky. This is the journey of souls born in years ending in 0. You didn't come here for incremental growth. You came for the fertile void, the sacred reset, the willingness to let old structures crumble so new ones can breathe. Cayce saw 0 as the number of completion and preparation, the clearing before the planting, the exhale before creation begins. If you carry the 0, you know what it's like to stand in ruins, relationships ended, careers dissolved, identities outgrown, and feel the world call it failure while your soul whispers ready. Your gift is sensitivity to what no longer serves, deep wisdom about cycles and seasons, and the courage for honest rebuilding. Your shadow is mistaking the void for emptiness, confusing clearing space with being empty yourself. Practice this for 30 days. Every morning, take 5 breaths of blank page awareness. No agenda, no fixing, just presence. At midday, make one conscious start. Something tiny and tangible. A single email. One sketch. 10 minutes of movement. At night, journal this question. If the past had no say here, what would I build? Let the answer surprise you. 0 is not nothing. 0 is infinite potential recognizing itself. Digit 1, the pathfinder. If you're waiting to feel ready, you're already late. Pioneers don't wait for permission. If you were born in a year ending in 1, your soul chose the frequency of initiation. You're here to begin things, new projects, new ways of healing, new patterns of thinking that break old molds. Cayce called the 1 energy, the spark, the first movement that sets dormant potential into motion. You are that spark made flesh. Your gift is vision coupled with courage, the ability to see what doesn't exist yet and move toward it anyway. You generate momentum. You lead before the path is clear. You trust your inner compass when the outer world offers nothing but fog. Your shadow appears when that pioneering energy turns controlling, when you isolate yourself because no one moves at your speed, or when you collapse under the weight of constant change you've initiated but can't pause long enough to integrate. For the next 30 days, practice this. Ship one bold beginning within 7 days. Not perfect, bold. Turn every no into next. When doors close, find windows. Ask yourself weekly, where am I leading from fear instead of purpose? The Pathfinder's power isn't in never stumbling. It's in stumbling forward, learning as you go, and trusting that the path appears for those who walk it. Digit 2, the bridge. A bridge is strong because it knows where it starts and ends. Heal connection without erasing yourself. This is the karmic assignment of souls born in years ending in 2. You came to mend relational fractures, to stand in the space between opposing forces and find the thread of understanding that reconnects them. Cayce saw 2s as natural mediators, gifted with emotional intelligence and empathic radar that can read unspoken need. Your gift is intuition about what others feel, the ability to create harmony in discord, and a capacity for care that can genuinely transform lives. Your shadow is self-abandonment disguised as service, resentment building quietly behind constant accommodation, and the rescuer pattern that keeps you carrying what was never yours to hold. You give until empty, then wonder why the bridge collapsed with you on it. Practice this daily for a month. Morning mantra. I can care without carrying. When you say yes to anything, include the when and where. Boundaries transform vague obligations into clean commitments. Every night, release what's not yours. What's not mine returns to light. Say it aloud. Feel the difference between empathy and absorption. You are the bridge, not the burden. Strong bridges hold connection precisely because they know their limits. Digit 3, the alchemist of expression. If you keep swallowing words, your soul will get thirsty. Your voice is medicine. Souls born in years ending in 3 chose lifetimes where emotional pain must transform into creative energy, writing that heals, music that shifts atmospheres, humor that cracks open truth, art that makes the invisible visible. Cayce recognized 3s as natural alchemists, capable of turning lead into gold, suffering into beauty, chaos into form. Your gift is playful depth, the ability to hold heaviness without becoming heavy, warmth that invites others into their own expression, and the expressive courage to speak what others only feel. Your shadow appears as approval seeking that distorts your truth, creative blockage when fear of judgment becomes louder than the urge to create, and a tendency to perform instead of reveal. For 30 days, commit to this. 10 minutes of imperfect creation daily. Write badly. Sing off-key. Paint messily. Create for the act itself, not the outcome. Share one truth weekly, in conversation, online, in your journal made public somehow. And reparent the inner child who learned that expression required permission. We create for joy, not approval. When you stop swallowing your words, you stop starving your soul. Digit 4, the foundation. You can be the rock without turning to stone. Strong doesn't mean numb. If you were born in a year ending in 4, you chose the work of stabilizing chaos, building what lasts, becoming the dependable ground others can stand on when their worlds shake. Cayce saw 4s as the karmic architects, souls who incarnated to bring structure anchored in compassion, discipline guided by wisdom, strength that serves rather than dominates. Your gift is follow through, loyalty that doesn't waver when things get hard, and protector energy that creates safety for others to grow. Your shadow is rigidity that mistakes flexibility for weakness, over-functioning until exhaustion becomes identity, and the belief that your worth equals your usefulness. You build and build and build, but forget to live inside what you've created. Practice this for a month. Set one new boundary per week. Small, specific, non-negotiable. Schedule rest as duty. If responsibility matters to you, make restoration a responsibility too. And build one durable system this month. Organize finances, create a sustainable home routine, design a workflow that actually works. You are the foundation. But foundations crumble when they forget to breathe. Digit 5, the wind. You don't need bigger wings, you need a destination. Motion isn't meaning, direction is. Souls born in years ending in 5 chose lifetimes of reclaiming liberty after incarnations of confinement, literal imprisonment, rigid structures, or lives where freedom was stolen. You came here to remember what it feels like to fly, to explore, to reinvent yourself without apology. Cayce called fives the seekers, but warned that seeking without intention becomes escape. Your gift is curiosity that never dies, adaptability that turns obstacles into opportunities, and the courage to reinvent when others cling to what's familiar. Your shadow is escapism dressed as adventure, novelty addiction that keeps you moving so fast you never arrive, and relationships abandoned when depth asks you to stay. For the next 30 days, do this. Choose one North Star, a goal, a value, a vision that guides your movement. Give yourself 90 minutes daily of deep work toward mastery in one area. Stop starting over, and show up for one relationship without disappearing when it gets real. Freedom without direction is just drift. Direction with freedom is flight. Digit 6, the healer of homes. Love that costs you your soul isn't love, it's a debt. Compassion that includes you. This is the lesson souls born in years ending in 6 came to master. You're here to restore love and harmony, to create homes, physical and emotional, where safety allows growth. Cayce recognized 6s as natural nurturers, but cautioned against the martyr pattern that turns caregiving into self-erasure. Your gift is the ability to create stability through care, to see what others need before they ask, and to anchor love in practical action. Your shadow is guilt-driven service, exhaustion worn as a badge of honor, and the belief that saving others proves your value. You give and give until there's nothing left, then resent the people you chose to deplete yourself for. Practice this daily for 30 days. Replace I should with I choose. Every obligation becomes a decision. Weekly, practice receiving. Accept help. Let someone care for you. Stop proving you don't need anyone. And ask yourself honestly, is this love or self-erasure? Love that includes you is the only love that lasts. Compassion begins at home, and you are home too. Digit 7, the seer. Your clarity will threaten those married to confusion. See anyway, you didn't come to fit in. You came to see. Souls born in years ending in 7 chose lifetimes of perception, the ability to spot patterns others miss, to sense truth beneath surface presentation, to know things without knowing how you know. Cayce called 7s the mystics, souls who came to pierce illusion and anchor wisdom. Your gift is spiritual acuity, the ability to read between lines and beneath masks, and wisdom that arrives through solitude and study. Your shadow is cynicism disguised as discernment, analysis paralysis that keeps you watching instead of participating, and isolation that becomes loneliness pretending to be preference. For 30 days, commit to this. Protect sacred hours daily, meditation, nature, silence. Non-negotiable. Translate one insight into service weekly. Wisdom and used becomes weight. And when loneliness arrives, ask, am I alone or just unexpressed? Sometimes solitude is chosen. Sometimes it's what happens when we hide what we see. Truth before comfort, but connection over isolation. Digit 8, the power bearer. If you can't put it down, it owns you. Power is clean when the heart holds it. Souls born in years ending in 8 came to learn stewardship and balance in leadership, to discover that true power serves rather than dominates, executes rather than controls, magnetizes rather than manipulates. Cayce saw 8s as karmic leaders learning that influence without integrity is just force, and force always fractures. Your gift is strategic thinking, the ability to execute vision into form, and natural magnetism that draws resources and people toward your purpose. Your shadow is control disguised as care, overwork dressed as ambition, and success achieved at the cost of peace. You climb and climb, but forget why you started climbing. Practice this for a month. Define enough. What's enough money? Enough recognition? Enough time spent working? Write it down. Weekly, conduct a heart audit. Is power serving purpose, or have I become its servant? And replace every impulse to prove with the intention to bless. Power balanced by heart doesn't need to prove anything. It simply serves. Digit 9, the elder soul. You can carry wisdom without carrying everyone. Compassion with clean edges. This is the mastery souls born in years ending in 9 came to embody. You're here to close karmic loops, to integrate lifetimes of learning into wisdom that serves the collective, to complete cycles with grace rather than force. Cayce saw 9s as old souls finishing their curriculum, but warned against the savior complex that mistakes everyone's pain as yours to fix. Your gift is intuition that borders on precognition, grace under pressure, and artistic or spiritual sensitivity that channels beauty into the world. Your shadow is empathic burnout, the inability to witness suffering without absorbing it, and the belief that your completion requires everyone else's healing. For 30 days, practice this weekly release ceremony. Write what's complete on paper, burn it, let it go. Structure your service. Give fully for the time you've chosen, then stop cleanly. Daily beauty ritual, art, music, nature, something that feeds you without demanding anything back. You are the elder, not the savior. Your wisdom is the gift. Their journey is theirs. If one line hit you like a memory, that wasn't random. Truth often arrives as recognition before logic can catch up. The mind scrambles to explain what the soul already knows. If your digit's description felt uncomfortably accurate, if reading it made your chest tighten or your eyes water, if you thought, how did they know? That response is data, not proof, but signal. Cayce taught that the soul recognizes its path before the personality does. The number is a compass, not a cage. If you feel disconnected from your digit's description, check your current season. Under chronic stress, the shadow speaks louder than the gift. In survival mode, you default to patterns that protected you once, but don't serve you now. When the nervous system calms, the gift emerges. Your digit describes direction, not destiny. It maps the territory you're working in, not the choices you'll make within it. And if the description feels slightly off, trust that too. Maybe you're between phases. Maybe you're expressing the healed version, so naturally you've forgotten how hard you worked to get there. Maybe you're carrying another number's energy through family patterns or past life bleed-through. The map is useful, but you are the one walking. 7 minutes daily beats 7 hours done never. This works for all digits. Every morning or evening, move through these 7 steps. Name it. I honor the lessons of your digit. I choose its healed form today. Say it aloud. Hear yourself claim it. See it. 60 seconds visualizing your digit's gift expressed clearly. See yourself speaking truth as a 3, building with boundaries as a 4, leading with heart as an 8. Make it vivid. Microact. Take one aligned step immediately. Text the boundary. Start the project. Schedule the rest. Small action locks intention into reality. Intend. Use me for the highest good. Surrender control of outcomes. Your job is aligned action, not guaranteed results. Body anchor. Hand to heart or solar plexus. Feel the commitment physically. The body remembers what the mind forgets. Release. What's not mine returns to light. Let go of what you're carrying that belongs to others, to the past, to patterns ready to dissolve. Gratitude. Thank the lesson you once resisted. Gratitude neutralizes karma faster than anything else. What you appreciate completes. What you resent repeats. 7 minutes. Every day. For 30 days. Watch what shifts. Not because magic happens in the ritual, but because consistency builds new wiring. Your nervous system learns safety in the new pattern. Your mind stops resisting what it now recognizes. Your soul exhales, finally seen. Isn't this coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe, as Cayce said, mind builds reality through focus and belief. If a pattern helps you grow, stop debating its metaphysical validity and use it. Results matter more than explanations. What if my family doesn't get it? They don't have to. Transformation isn't a group project. Results speak louder than debates. Let your life be the argument. What if my digit feels wrong? Calm your nervous system first. When you're regulated, recheck the description. The gift appears when you feel safe enough to claim it. Sometimes we reject what we most need because we're afraid of what it asks from us. Mind is the builder. Every thought lays a stone. Every feeling shapes the foundation. The world you inhabit, its joys, its challenges, its repeating themes, is not an accident of birth or luck. It is architecture. The mind designs, belief provides the blueprint, and choice builds the form. Hold wisely, for what you hold in thought becomes the material of your becoming. Build bravely, for every act of creation requires courage. The courage to imagine beyond what is, the courage to trust what could be. Souls choose their conditions for growth, not to suffer, not to repay some cosmic debt to invisible accountants tallying karma in the sky. The soul selects its setting like a gardener choosing soil, rich or rocky, shaded or bright, knowing that certain nutrients and certain tensions are needed to bring forth a particular bloom. You, too, are planted in precise ground. The family you entered, the body you inhabit, the time and place you call mine. All these are conditions of growth, not punishments nor prizes. They are coordinates of learning. Among these conditions, your birth digit, the number encoded in your arrival, serves as a small but potent symbol. It does not dictate your destiny. It simply illuminates tendencies, openings, and lessons. Think of it as a mirror held up to the soul's design, a reminder of what you came here to remember. It explains enough, not everything, but enough to begin. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, devoted his life to translating invisible patterns into words the waking mind could grasp. He did not demand blind faith. He asked for honest experimentation. Try the principle. Apply the idea. Observe the results. Adjust as needed. He taught that truth is not proven by argument, but by experience. Each person must test the unseen against the evidence of their own living. Your soul knew what it needed before you ever learned to name it. Long before you could speak, you carried within you the imprint of purpose. The practices, the meditations, affirmations, reflections, and daily acts of alignment are not commands but keys. They unlock memory. They turn the invisible current of your being into something you can steer with awareness. So tonight, choose one practice. Not all of them. 1. Let simplicity be your entry point. It might be a nightly affirmation, a moment of silent gratitude before sleep, a written reflection on what your number symbolizes, or a single act of kindness done with full intention. Whatever you choose, commit to it for 30 days. Repetition opens recognition. Discipline becomes devotion. As you move through the days, watch alignment unfold, not as proof of cosmic manipulation, but as evidence that attention alters experience. What you name, you notice. What you notice, you can transform. This is not superstition, it is participation. When you recognize the pattern, you are no longer merely inside it. You are in dialogue with it. Awareness becomes agency. The unseen begins to take form, and what once felt random reveals its rhythm. The code of your life starts to make sense, not as a rigid design, but as a living conversation between soul and circumstance. You did not arrive here by accident. You arrived with purpose, carrying gifts so familiar you mistook them for ordinary. The work now is to unpack what you once hid for safekeeping. Your intuition, your creativity, your resilience, your capacity to love beyond fear. The invitation is simple but profound. To remember what you already are and to live from that remembering. Hold wisely. Build bravely. The builder within waits for your command. Thank you so much for staying with me through this exploration. If you found value in today's discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who might benefit from it. And if you'd like to go a step further in supporting this work, you can now leave a super thanks below. It's a small way to say thank you, and it truly helps keep this channel going.